Well, hello and welcome along to another edition of Track Talk, an action-packed episode as well. Plenty to look forward to. And I know for a fact one man that is looking forward to the action is the man sat to my right, Dan Cobby, who joins me in the studio. Dan, plenty to look forward to. Well, I guess one of the big talking horses is Circuit Mission. Anyone that had a vested interest last time will be hoping to regain very valuable losses.
Yeah, definitely, Nick. He was clearly unlucky last start, by no fault of his own, but it was just one of those races, wasn't it? But he's back at the races, thoroughly looking forward to it, and I think he finds a suitable race to break through here in Singapore, and obviously bigger things in store for him down the track.
Yeah, he was a second emergency there in the Fortune Bowl, so that's clearly how highly he is thought of. We kick things off with the Crown GD, but before we get there, and before we get to the book and the premierships and such, earlier on this week I went round and caught up with Julie Burridge, who's recently formed Syndicate, had their very first runner, and lo and behold, he was a very first winner as well. His name was Salvador, and this is what Julie had to say. Racehorse ownership can be a very costly expense, but one lady that's trying to make it a bit more affordable here in Singapore is Julie Burridge, who very kindly joins me this morning. Julie, first off, I must congratulate you. Your first winner, Salvador, was a winner for the new Syndicate. Very well done.
Yes, it was a tremendous thrill for everybody involved. We found this horse running in Sydney. He'd had 7 starts for a multiple of 3 seconds. And what we liked about him was that he'd run behind a horse called Star of the Seas, which has gone on to win a few races. So we took the punt and we brought him here. And you know, I can't really offer anything too much different to Syndicate as a syndicate, and we'd love to have owners get involved, and we can, you know, sell shares of horses. But in Singapore, it'd be lovely to see the horses themselves have more profile with the public and jockeys as well, because they're so fit. They do a lot of hard work. And for example, Glenn Boss, he's sort of the national treasure of Australia, and he's come to Singapore, and he's very inspiring. And you know, it would be nice if the public would get involved and follow these characters and come to the races, follow their favourite jockeys and get involved with horses, and that's where horse ownership, you know, starts from.
It certainly does. And just of the dynamics, obviously, you know, you set up, you've got a syndicate, you've then got to try and encourage people in, but what goes with the actual purchase of a share? Obviously, there's so much enjoyment to gain.
Oh, it's such a fun thing. So once you have an ownership in a horse, you get weekly updates, you'll get videos, you'll get to come and see the horse, visit, talk to the trainer about what kind of racing he has. I mean, every horse has such a huge history. So Salvador's 4 years old, but 5 or 6 years ago, somebody who had his mare, his dam, decided to put him to Magic Albert, and they had an idea that the mare had the good form and would mix with Magic Albert to produce this wonderful horse. So much has gone into producing thoroughbreds. You know, and all the statistics, and you can look up all his different races, where he's run, who he's run around, what the tracks were like, what distances he run over. I mean, it's an amazing array of information, statistics, percentages. It's such an interesting sport when you actually get into horse racing. It's not just watching horses go around the racetrack with a jockey on. There's so much more to look forward and enjoy, and we can bring that to you. We can give you all the information. And I mean, the owners that are involved in Salvador have not been able to believe the amount that goes into training a racehorse. It's so exciting for them. It's like following a student, you know, going to school. It's an amazing array of information.
It certainly is, and obviously a big celebrations, I'm sure, last week when Salvador managed to be successful. It isn't just him in the syndicate, Julie. You've also got another horse who we had a look at earlier on, and he's a So You Think, and you're looking forward to him.
So You Think, that is Australia's national treasure. He went to 5 different countries. He ran in Australia, Ireland, England, France, Dubai. I mean, that horse had 23 starts for 14 winners, won almost $10 million in prize money, and we've actually got a progeny by him come to Singapore. Going to be an exciting middle distance horse. Yes, and he's ready for shareholders to come and buy shares with that one. It's very exciting. He's a beautiful, stunning looking horse, a chip off the old block. And yeah, looking forward to syndicating him out.
Just going back, leads me on nicely to my next question. You mentioned No Scenario, obviously doing so well for a young man. Is the emphasis very much to try and get that younger breed of people in? I mean, there's obviously a certain age group which probably distances themselves a little bit from racing.
Look, it's just so good to see these young hoops come through the system, and all the older jockeys are there to give their advice and help with giving experience and tips. Yeah, and just to have him as a Singaporean come through the ranks, he's such an affable chap, and he'll do anything for you, and a good talented rider. We look forward to seeing those kind of more young jockeys coming through the system, and anybody that wants to learn to ride, get in touch with the Singapore Turf Club.
And just finally, Julie, with Salvador himself, I must say he's being very cooperative in joining us here this morning. I think he probably wants to get back and get a bit of grub or something like that. But where does he go next? Obviously, the win was very good. I think, from what I can gather, he's beaten a pretty handy field. So, I dare say prospects for his next run would certainly be high.
So, Steve and I thought what we'd do is we'd pop him into another 1200 metre. He'll go into class 4. And let's hope that, fingers crossed, that he can win that race. Then after that, we'd probably step up the distance a little bit. He'll, move up into the grades and probably step him up to 1400. This horse has run over middle distance, so he's such a handy kind of horse to have, and it's just going to be great fun for the owners. So looking forward to seeing him race next. We've got a race lined up maybe in about 3 weeks' time.
Well, Julie, we're certainly looking forward to seeing him in action, and also the So You Think as well. But, well, from myself, Julie and Salvador, that is racehorse ownership. And if you want to get involved, do get in touch with either Julie or Stephen Burridge, and I'm sure there'll be shares available. Julie, many thanks for your time, and
Thanks.
we wish you all the very best for Salvador.
Thank you.